nobody? Who are you? Are you nobody too? You know, hope's a thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all.
Gentlemen, thank you for joining us once again here at Midday in Manhattan. My name is Crawford-Crawford, and we are here talking about the exciting road from nowhere with Victor Blotto. How are you, Victor?
Very good.
Always a pleasure seeing you.
Thank you.
Now, like everyone else who is involved with the exciting road from nowhere, your career has skyrocketed. Why don't you tell us how you got involved in this project?
Well, I was waiting on tables, I'm not ashamed to say, and one of my customers was the casting director, and he noticed that when I was bringing the dessert, it finally hit him that I had a certain way about me that was just he said it had a certain je ne sais quoi, I think he said. And he said he needed me to submit my resume to him and my picture, and so I did.
Now, why don't you tell our viewers what your background is? Where did you actually learn your craft?
Well, I learned my craft in front of the television. I mean, just watching old shows, Gilligan's Island, you know, anything. I would dress up as Ginger sometimes Mary Ann, depending on what fruits we had around the house. You know, if it was melons, I was Ginger. If it was apples, I was Mary Ann.
Well, many of our generation did indeed growing up watching TV shows, and that was where a majority of our time was actually spent. And they do say it was a learning tool. Now, you've had the opportunity, I assume, to actually meet Rob Renee, and when you were, I guess, studying your profile and your part. What feelings did you actually pick up when you encountered them? What were the similarities? What were the differences? How did you change the character?
I felt like I knew Rob all my life, and I felt like I knew Renee all my life. I just saw it as a role of a lifetime to play because of the dichotomy, the conflicting characters between this man who's a woman. And I felt like I could definitely delve into it just wholeheartly, yes, wholeheartedly.
Well, when I was discussing, I'm sorry, when I was discussing the Rob Renee persona with Dr. Denise Nichols, I assume you've had the chance to meet her.
Yes.
She seemed to feel that there was not a masculine bone actually in Rob's body.
Well, I disagree with her a little bit because, I mean, he's a man who's conflicted, and I saw that as something that I could delve into, you know. And I mean, you have to start somewhere to become something, and that's what art is about. It's about changing. And this whole movie, this life story, is a change, and that's the whole story. That's the whole thing.
Well, as far as now, you do of course know that Renee is now on a world tour after having the most successful Tupperware party in the history of Tupperware, appearing at the Houston Astrodome. How did you research, all right, your the aspect of your role that took you into that highly secluded world and almost secret world of Tupperware?
I went to as many Tupperware parties as I could. And I also went to the Tupperware factory, and I went to several factories where they make the Tupperware, and I got all the books I possibly could. I looked online, I researched the internet, and I went to PTA meetings whenever I could as well.
Now, the dynamic, right, between Rob, Renee, Paul, and Glenn, his son, is a highly special set of emotions. Do you find the same chemistry and dynamic with the other actors that are playing the part of Paul and of Glenn?
I got along great with them. I mean, we seemed to have chemistry from day one. I mean, we had readings around the table. It was great. And then, you know, Paul, he brought some goulash in his Tupperware, and you know, so it was just a big party.
Well, Glenn is actually a dynamic young lad, as is the actor who is portraying him. I do know that there is always a problem with young actors who achieve high standards of success. And I know many of our viewers are sitting out there, and their children are now taking drama classes and such. Do you have any advice you might want to give either to a parent who is raising a potential actor, or perhaps the student themselves that is sitting here watching and admiring you? Because it's no secret that The Exciting Road is the most phenomenal play to have hit Broadway in the last 2 decades.
Well, I have to say, repetition, repetitive exercises, Meisner technique is very helpful. Just repeating things that other people say. It pisses them off sometimes, but it's good experience for the stage. That's what I'd say.
Now, in examining your life, what if you could name one specific event, right, that prepared you for this given role in your past life, whether it was in your teenage years or your young years, can you pinpoint a given event that you would be able to say, this is where it all started? And you know, because we follow many paths in life, right? Can you trace back the essence of this character and this role to any given point in your own life?
The first time that I sold light bulbs for the Cub Scouts, it was that door-to-door contact with the public that I think you get from selling Tupperware and light bulbs.
Okay, so then you drew on that, I guess, if
And of course, the first time I dressed as a girl for Halloween when I was 12.
Okay. When you
Look
dressed as a girl,
there.
was it you know, were you selling like Girl Scout cookies? What did you actually dress as?
I just dressed as a girl.
You
I
just
just
a girl?
got my mother's clothes and I put them on and I went to school.
Now, is this something that you carried with you? I mean, if this is becoming too personal, please tell me. But many of us do have
I'm an open book.
a feminine side. I personally believe that true divinity is only achieved through the masculine and feminine union. Do you carry these with you? Has this been something you've carried with you, and have you faced, shall we say, any prejudices because of your maybe ability to cook or sew or shoot basketball?
Well, thank God I've never been in the military, so I don't know what that's like. I mean, but generally, and I've mostly spent most of my life in New York, which is an open-minded type place, and so I find that no, I haven't really suffered prejudices as other people may have. Maybe in, you know, Arizona or Texas, you know, it might be different, but not here.
I have watched your career very, very closely, and you do seem to do everything very, very well. That is not a secret whatsoever. I mean, all of your roles, it just seems that you were created to play them. And I mean, you don't just learn how to sink 7 or 8 hoops in a row. You don't just learn how to swim the English Channel or do the tango, whether you're wearing a dress or not. It just seems that everything that, for example, your portrayal of Betsy Ross totally blew me away. I mean, did you sew when you were a child, or is it just something you were born to do?
Well, I channel on a daily basis usually. I don't know if everybody can channel. I found at an early age I was able to contact the dead. And I just, you know, I basically picked up the phone, the telepathic phone, and I phoned Betsy Ross, and I asked her questions about her life, and she let me know, so that I was just able to become her.
Well, this is something more and more actors and actresses are actually doing. I was interviewing Pinky earlier this evening. She, of course, as you know, plays Mila, Paul's wife, and she channels with her constantly, and in researching her character and everything else. So there is a big spiritual movement within the acting community. Now, in dealing with the relationship between Rob and Paul, right? Did you find any conflict, right, in the close chemistry and the spirituality of love in their dealings and your presentation on the stage?
No, I just felt like we clicked right away. It was like maybe past lives we were lovers, I don't know. But it went well.
Well, I certainly do not wish to discuss your sexual orientation, but having seen the play more than once, as far as it goes, the bond that seems to have developed on stage between Glenn, Paul, and yourself is really something to behold. And I think that every person should see it, because it's a very, very good play, and it is about love. It is about the emergence of characters and the ability to love yourself, what you're becoming, love those people around it, and the acceptance and the tolerance.
It's a universal theme. It really is. It goes beyond sex too. It envelops us all.
Now, I assume you've had the opportunity to meet Bonnie and Ellen. Right? Could you give us some opinions on them and their music?
Atrocious.
Really?
But yet it touches a chord. It's like it's like a train wreck. You can't help but listening and stopping and seeing and feeling and crying. It brings out all the emotions.
Okay.
But I love it.
I mean, the music is very, very good. They're Paddington Bear, the Rainbow Magic, Mr. Messy. All of these songs really had a distinct effect on all of the people that are around. You know, we know that Harry fell in love with Cachando, the dominatrix, and by the same token, all of the street toughs have now taken the postal exam and are well on their way to civil service jobs. Right, so there is a whole lot of spirituality that goes with the music. Now, of course, I was talking to someone, and they were talking about Metallica, you know, affecting their lives. Now, for the life of me, I cannot understand how Metallica or Kiss would affect someone's life in a positive note. But you know, apparently there's something in them that does it. Did you find that their music affected you in any given fashion, other than?
I would say that the music that really affected me in my life was Gilbert and Sullivan's music. Yes.
No, that's right. You did indeed. You were in the one of the earlier productions of the Pirates of Penzance.
That's right.
Was it when you were in college, or? Okay.
Yeah,
as
for the pirate sherry, fill the pirate glass.
Well, yeah, every every child growing up does at one point or another really see themselves or envision themselves as a pirate, a buccaneer, a freebooter, to sail the open seas, be unrestricted by bounds or even by the laws of men. Now this, of course, is a very important concept in the acting career, right? Because you cannot limit yourself, you cannot define yourself. You have to forever keep redefining yourself. Do you find any problems after you're done researching a role and playing a role? Is there a piece of the character that remains with you?
Definitely, definitely.
Well, could you give us an example?
For example, when I play the rebel in the Pirates, you know, that rebellious nature stayed with me forever. So that, you know, I walk down the street and you know, I see a empty bag and I have to kick it.
Okay. Well, I don't specifically see the relation to it, but I imagine that there's something within you. Now, I myself spend a lot of time performing, and as a thespian, I really live by only one rule, and that is the show must go on. Now, anyone who knows me will tell you, flat out, hands down, my morals are extremely questionable, but my ethics are beyond reproach. Now, have you, what rules do you live by as a person, as an actor, as a spiritual entity? What rules do you live by?
Opposites. I live by opposites. If I want to do something, I just do the opposite.
Well, that
if
is
someone wants me to do something, I do the opposite, and I find that makes me happy.
Well, that's one of the formulas that I use, in the sense that, you know, I find any given situation, I think what would be the worst thing I could possibly do, and
It's
then,
usually the best.
you know, I do the exact opposite. You know, well, yeah, we do have to wrap it up. I'm sorry. Thank you ever so much, you know, for taking the time to come down from your very, very busy schedule. And I hope you will come down and join us again. I understand that you're actually bombarded these days with scripts, and we would love to have you come down and talk about some of your new projects that you're dealing with. We are also planning on having a roundtable discussion where we are actually going to try and get a hold of Rob, Renee, Paul, and bring everyone in and let them sit down under a rather relaxed and casual atmosphere and sort of have a roundtable discussion. I hope you'll be able to join us.
As long as you keep serving this delicious sherry.
I certainly shall. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for staying with us. It has been a wonderful day. My name is T. Crawford-Crawford. You're watching Midday in Manhattan, and you do have a happy and safe evening. Once again, thank you very, very much.
I'm nobody. Who are you? Are you nobody too? You know, hope's a thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words.